Gerard sat patiently in Perrault's office with a spoon, a glass of water, and a full plate of food on the table before him. To pass the time, he studied a painting of Belém, Perrault's native city. He recognized the port from its unmistakable ornamented tower. He had passed it on the start of his voyage to Brazil. The quality of the painting did not match those he had seen in Italy and Flanders, yet still provided a reasonable representation of the port. Perrault entered with the slave in tow. The slave stared at Gerard in silence, then took a long look at the plate on the table. "Please sit down," offered Gerard. The slave sat down on the other side of the table. "Could you please leave us alone?" asked Gerard, looking at Perrault. "I suppose it can't do any harm. But if anything happens to the property," he said, motioning toward the slave with a flick of his chin, "you're responsible." Right before walking out the door, he looked back and said, "Remember, 40,000 by Thursday, or he's on his way to Rio." Once Perrault slammed the door, Gerard looked over to the slave and asked, "What's your name?" The slave studied him before responding. Their eyes made contact, and Gerard held his gaze without blinking. The slave said, "Tell me yours first." "All right, my name is Gerard van Oost, 29 years of age. I'm Dutch, from the county of Flanders, but I've spent so much time traveling Europe that I haven't set foot in my homeland in years." "Well, Gerard, you are the only white man who has ever asked me my name. I am Oludara. I hail from the kingdom of Ketu, which bears the misfortune of being located in a region you Europeans call the Slave Coast. By your calendar, I have lived for 23 years. After a pause, he continued, "Why do you seek me? From what I heard of your conversation in the plaza, I understood that you are not a sugar mill owner." "First, I'd like to offer you a gift." Gerard pushed the plate and spoon forward. "Are you familiar with the local food?" "Only the black beans and rice, which we receive only when we are lucky. Most days we eat cooked green bananas, which makes me think Mr. Perrault de Belém really does believe we are monkeys." Gerard didn't know whether the comment was said in bitterness or jest. After a short pause, he chanced a chuckle. Then Oludara smiled, and they both laughed heartily. "Yes, Gerard, even in a situation like mine, a man must keep his humor. My people say, do not lament spilled water. As long as the calabash is not broken, one can still get more. Times are dark for me, but my body and will are strong, and for this reason I do not despair. However, it is indeed difficult to live on bananas alone." "Well, you may find this food to your liking." Gerard pointed to each item in turn. "The fish is grouper. It is denser than most other fish and mild on the tongue. This is roasted aipim. It comes from the ground like a potato, but is richer in flavor. The yellow bread is made from corn and mixed with a bit of coconut for sweetness. And these slices are from a fruit known as pineapple, regarded as one of the sweetest flavors in the world. It is so treasured by the Portuguese, they ship trees all the way to India to make sure the fruit is never far from their colonies." Oludara stared at the plate, but didn't make any move toward it. "It is truly a feast, but no one offers a meal for free. Let me know what you seek before I accept your generosity." "Tell me how you knew the answer to Antonio's question yesterday." "Is that all? I would tell you the story if only for the courtesy you have shown, but I accept your offering as I am so tired of bananas that my pride would not get in the way of any handout." Oludara ate his first spoonful of rice and beans, closing his eyes as he chewed it. After washing it down with a sip of water, he looked Gerard in the eye. "Let me tell you my story. It happened 5 years ago in my homeland of Ketu." Between bites, he told his tale.